Divorce tips part 2 for Thanksgiving. So, how do you handle those difficult conversations when you're going through a divorce with family members? It's the holidays, it's Thanksgiving coming up. You know you're going to be around a table with your family members. Maybe you're with your family members, maybe you're still with your ex's family members. How do you handle the stress of those family interactions in an already stressful divorce? Well, the answer is to be really clear beforehand what you do want to talk about and what you don't want to talk about. There could be certain things about your divorce that are off limits to your family. You have to be comfortable practicing some phrases that are going to let people know what topics you're willing to discuss and what topics are off limits. It's perfectly fine to say something like, we're going through a really difficult time right now and it's a little hard to talk about, but I would love to talk about what's going on in your life. That's a really nice way to say, it's a little too sensitive and I just don't have the ability to kind of gossip with you or bring you into it. You might also encounter some people in your family that are really not in agreement with your choice to divorce. Maybe you are dealing with grandparents or well-meaning aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters of your ex that are maybe very upset that the divorce is happening. And how do you handle those types of interactions at the Thanksgiving table? I think you treat it with kindness. You can understand that people are going to have opinions about what you do, but they aren't walking in your shoes. They're not the ones that have to live your life. So you can ask yourself, it always is very difficult when there are people disapproving of you. But what you have to remember is that these people are humans too, and they've got their own stories. They've got their own issues and families that they're working with. And it really shouldn't impact the decisions that you make. We can't control our family members. We can't control how they feel. We can't control how our family members react to other people's joys or other people's problems. But what we can do is control our reaction to them. So I think treating it with kindness and distance is a really great way to handle it. You can say, you're right, divorce is difficult. And I imagine that it's going to be hard for other people. I'm doing great. Can you pass the turkey? Another response you can say is, I understand that you might be having a hard time with the fact that we're going through a divorce, and I get that. I think the best thing we can do is just maybe change the subject and talk about something that's happy. My favorite line is to say something like, yes, there is so much going on that's hard and difficult, and the more I talk about it, the more I focus on it, the worse I feel. What could we talk about that feels great? Another thing to do is to have 4 topics in your back pocket. You could just immediately start asking that person instead of really delving into all the things that are going on in your life. Remember, it's really hard for other people, even in your family, to see your growth and be comfortable with it. And you've got to let that go. There's not a single thing you can do about it. People are going to approve or disapprove of whatever you do, even when you try to do things perfectly. You could be the best daughter-in-law. You could be the best sister. You could be the best neighbor. And no matter what, people are going to talk about you. People are going to disagree with you. You've got to start letting that go and doing what's right for you. Have a couple canned responses in your back pocket. Insert them in at a time that's uncomfortable. Don't take it personally. Hurt people. Broken people and unhappy people always want to comment on your life. Just let it go, get through the holiday, and then reward yourself on the back end with something you really want to do.